This is one of my favorite practices for releasing stress from a long day or a long week. And I hope you enjoy it. What you need is a bolster and a wall. Well, and a mat or a blanket underneath. But make yourself comfortable, because let's assume it has been a long day or a long week. And what we want to do is turn the body upside down so that we can move the fluids in a different direction and take really good care of ourselves before we head into anything else. All right, so here we go. So lying back, what we'll do is we've got the mat or a blanket up against the wall, and we've placed the bolster. You could also have blankets here against the wall. It's not necessary that you have this, but what it'll do is we'll elevate and open the chest. And since so many of us are doing this all the time, it's going to feel really nice. So bolster right up against the wall. When we come in to the side. That's important if we have any hope of getting the legs up. And we'll just scoot down, and there's just this little swing of the legs that happens up, and we come right in. Sometimes people will want to come in this way and then kind of inch their legs up. It's much more efficient if you come in from the side. If you're feeling like you can't get close enough to the wall, that's okay. You can be back a ways and have the knees bent, no problem. So let's begin with taking the arms out. Draw the shoulders down the back. Rest the heels against the wall. As I said, if knees are bent, that's okay too. And let's close the eyes. And allow the bones to get heavy. Sinking, sinking, sinking downward, feeling the connection to the ground slowly developing again, being supported by the ground beneath us. And as we make our way into the body, the first place we want to go is notice what we've brought with us onto the cushion, onto this position. So notice where we feel heaviness in the body. Notice where we may feel any contraction in the body, any holding. And first we just notice what we feel as opposed to trying to change it. So we're making room for whatever is here. And the making room actually helps to begin to shift back. Subtle changes happen just through making room. Noticing temperature of the body, anywhere in the body that's noticeably warm or cool. And moving our awareness now to the feet and the calves. What does it feel like in there? What kind of awareness can we bring to sensation, however subtle? including now the knees, sensing in. The thighs. You can feel the force of gravity begin to take the body downward, and we go with it. You might even notice that the breath is it slowing down at all? Can we observe the breath without changing it? And what do we notice about the length of the inhale and the exhale? Moving our awareness now into the pelvis. And making room for whatever we feel. It's a subtle distinction between telling stories about what we feel versus the direct awareness of what we feel. So we're hanging in direct awareness. But if stories come up, we just give them room too and return to observing sensation. Noticing now the chest. Now you can feel how the bolster or the blankets can be so helpful because we've created a shape where there's more room for the inhalation. Let's all take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. It's releasing the breath. Bring a little more awareness to the arms now, the weight of the arms in the floor. And with the eyes closed, can you feel into the area around the collarbones, the top of the lungs? A lot of lymph nodes right under the surface of the skin. Feeling how the breath subtly permeates into those spaces that are like little reservoirs. Relaxing hands and fingers, and allowing for the weight of the skull. Softening the front of the throat. Releasing the jaw. And noticing the facial muscles. Let's assume that this is the end of the day for you. So often the case that we hold subtle contraction in the face. Imagine that the cheekbones are widening away from one another. And maybe even the corners of the mouth turning up just a little bit. Invite rather than force. And feeling the whole body here in space, supported by the ground. Okay, we're about to make a big move. So it looks like this. We'll move the right leg into midline slightly. We'll just allow the left leg to externally rotate, sliding the foot down the wall any amount. You'll feel probably that the left hip is a little bit heavier into your cushion or blankets. Noticing what happens in the body. Letting the left leg get heavy as works for you. And noticing what we feel on the inside of the left leg, adductor side, inner groin. And we do invite the exhalation to become a little bit longer than the inhale. By invitation only. No problem if the breath doesn't respond right away. We make room for the breath. And the left fingertips might come to the outside of the left thigh as we extend the left leg up. Pausing, feeling. Noticing a difference between left and right side. You might even notice a difference visually because we changed blood flow on that side for a moment. And now we turn, externally rotate the right thigh. Knee draws down, and gradually coming down. Now let's just remember knees are sensitive for very often the case. Let's remember that the knees are sensitive. So if this isn't comfortable, you can return to legs up the wall. Or if you had a block nearby, you could support the leg with a block, the tall direction underneath. Now giving ourselves to this shape. So those of us who are addicted to speed, which is most of us in this culture, it can take some patience to slow down a little bit. Our body wants it so much. One way to keep monkey mind busy is by attending to the most subtle sensations that we feel. Visceral sensation in the body and the breath, the subtle changes of breath, as the natural intelligence of the body has the room to take over here in deep rest. Final breaths can really release a little bit more deeply. Feeling even across the shoulders and the chest. What does it feel like in there? Right hand might prompt the right thigh back up. Pausing, noticing action. And response of the body. What's it like in there now? Fact, everything is changing moment by moment. Are we here for those subtle changes? Feeling the pulse through the body. Okay, so now we bring the soles of the feet together just a little bit, and we trace a path right down the wall. Knees go wide. And if at any point the bolster becomes not comfortable, we could certainly remove the bolster and come all the way down onto the back. If this may not be comfortable for us, we could take the soles of the feet to the wall, just let the legs go wide. Once we've come into this shape, once again, we practice the art of surrender. So this is so interesting, the word surrender. In our culture, it has largely come to mean some kind of weakness. And in this practice, it's actually a great strength. A great strength to be able to let go. To give ourselves to what's here. To provide the room for ourselves to feel. Noticing maybe some tingling. I often think of these long-held postures like those great meteor showers at the end of August in California, where in the middle of the night, you go up to the hill and you watch, and the stars, there they are. Well, they appear to be falling out of the sky, don't they? And when we go inside into the body, those little sensations can feel like this great constellation. Tiny movements, all so interesting. and see what it's like for you. Just a few more breaths. Softening top chest area. Noticing the throat. Now the fingertips might touch the thighs to help prompt the legs back up. Notice what that was like. Just that simple movement. Going great distances to arrive here. Letting go of any concerns we may have about the past. Noticing if thoughts about the future arise. And we gather ourselves together, body, breath, and mind, to plant ourselves here. Nowhere else we'd rather be than here. We bend the knee. Let's bend the left knee and cross the ankle over the right thigh. And then slowly slide down, paying attention to every infinitesimal sensation as we make our way into a comfortable place. Can we find a comfortable place where we may be just riding on the edge of some sensation, likely in the left hip, glutes, piriformis. And in this posture, you could relax the left foot a little bit. You might feel a little bit like you're rolling off the bolster. See if you can come to a comfortable place. And then we encourage, which is one step up from inviting, encourage the breath into the hips. Sometimes I'll say, imagine you have lungs in various parts of your body. Can we feel the breath, the waves of breath emanate into the hips? Gradually opening the body from the inside out. Isn't that interesting, the relationship between the outside in and the inside out? We might See if this is true for you. We might agree that there's a lot more focus on the outside in. This practice is about drawing our awareness in so that what we express comes from the inside out authentically. How do we do that? By being willing to go inside. Okay, here we go. Another terrific movement. Extending. Take the legs up, pause and feel what's happening now. Noticing the breath. Noticing the face. Noticing the space between breaths. Noticing the space between thought. Right knee bends. Ankle crosses over thigh. Let's see what it's like on this side. Likely a whole new experience. So we go where we can dwell, where there's the potential for a little more opening, without taking it all the way to the edge. We want to be able to hang out wherever we land. Hang out and watch. Creating the conditions to be open to what we find. If strong sensation arises at any point, pause, make a little room. Sometimes it's wise to back up a little bit. Sometimes it's wise to create some space around that sensation. And sometimes it's wise to move very slowly toward the sensation. See what we can find within the sensation. Through practice, we begin to know more about what is wise on the inside in any given moment. Watching how the breath is constantly changing what's taking place in the body. Nothing to hold on to. So we tether our awareness to the breath. Here we go. Gradually take the legs back up the wall, pausing and feeling. There's an action and there's a response. And we slow down enough to feel into that response. Why? So we don't miss our lives. Just a few more breaths here. And we'll bend one knee at a time. We'll make a choice now about which side we're going to roll over. We'll take one arm up over the ear and roll ourselves right off the bolster until we come to the side, resting our head on our arm. Feeling now the breath enter into the back of the lungs. Noticing sensation. And with our hand, we slowly rise up. Okay, so that was big, wasn't it? We were there for a little while. Let's move the bolster out of the way. And we'll come on to our backs. Lying back in Shavasana. You might want to have the bolster under the knees. Allows the lower back to rest a little bit. Make yourself really comfortable. If you have blankets, you can place the blankets over your body. When you place your head down, it's nice to roll a blanket underneath the neck sometimes. Be sure that when you do lie down that your head isn't like this, right? Doesn't this look like the work day? It does, right? So just allow the body to completely rest downward. The arms are beside us. Closing the eyes. And we go back through scanning the body now that we've made a big move. When it's late in the day after work, it's a good idea to scan from the top down now. So noticing what the top of the head feels like. And gradually melting the skull into the ground beneath us as the face softens. The eyeballs float in the nests of their sockets. Cheeks widen. Inner ears relax. Jaw softens. If you've got any holding in the jaw at this point, could open the mandible. You could stretch the lower jaw left to right. Relaxing the tongue, the throat, the neck. Relaxing across the collarbone area, the front of the shoulders. Arms are heavy. Hands are heavy and receptive. Just relaxing into the whole heart area. Softening the belly. And following your path down into the pelvis. Feeling the weight of the legs. Into calves, ankles, and feet. And holding the whole body in our awareness, can we feel this space that we occupy within the flesh of our body? And can we hold that space with tenderness and love? This is self-care from the inside out. Imagine that we could wash the inside of the body. The deep care for ourselves. Whatever may be going on. And appreciating the rising and passing breath. Rising and passing sensation. Rising and passing thought. Relaxing the tendency to hold on to anything. And learning how to hover. Full-bodied hovering in the moment. Awareness rides the breath. So the toes wiggle a little bit, the fingers wiggle a little bit. We take our sweet time, drawing one knee in, the other knee in, giving ourselves a hug from the inside out and the outside in. Extending one arm over the head, pausing here, resting. So that may the benefits of this practice certainly be carried out internally for ourselves, but may they somehow also benefit those around us. May they be happy, may they be healthy, may they be at peace. And we slowly make our way up, coming to a comfortable seat. Good, that was a journey, the journey of rest. Let's pause for a moment, feel the sit bones root, holding the whole body in our awareness, including everything that we find. Drawing the palms together. We'll close with one Om. Inhale. Exhale. Inhaling. Om. Hands come to the forehead, right thought. May we be steady. May we be present. May we be joyful. The hands come to the mouth, right speech. May our words improve upon the silence. And our hands come to our heart, right action. May we be the change that we wish to see. Namaste.